it's Kelsey with Shipwreck Beads. We are here. It is Wednesday, August, what is it, the 3rd? I can't believe it's August already. Summer is pretty much over, and I can't believe it. August is here. That means our artisan market is almost here, and I'm not ready. Been working really hard to get everything in order for the artisan market. We finally just filled up, so hopefully you got your application in for that. And but yeah, we're full, and we're looking to hopefully add a couple extra spots because we had such a great response from our last newsletter as far as people who wanted to sign up and be a vendor at this event, which is always great. We always want new vendors. It helps keep things fun and fresh, and so yeah, so we're full. We're hopefully going to add a few extra spaces to include some extra vendors, but I'm working real hard to get that done. Wanted to say thanks to everyone who tuned in on Friday. Oh, the shopping at the Artisan Market, Anastina, is incredible. I always save up before the markets because I know I'm going to want to spend some money, especially on the winter market because it's so close to Christmas, but for gifts and just for yourself. There's so many talented vendors, all handmade, and you know, it's hard to turn down some of the great finds that you'll find at the Artisan Market. So that's August 27th, Saturday, 10 to 5. Make sure you come on out. We've got, obviously, the Roxy Radio will be here again. They're a big sponsor of ours. We'll have the Hands-On Children's Museum is going to have a booth. We've got our friends from Tierra Cast who will be doing a lovely free make and take. We've got the people from Home Depot will also be sponsoring a kids craft, which is really, really exciting. We're trying to make it more family oriented, and I'm really excited that we're making ways. We're making headway that way. So this week we'll do our normal 2 videos. So I've got this video today on Wednesday, and we'll do our Friday 4 o'clock happy half hour. I got some great new samples from Tierra Cast with their new sports line. So we'll take a look at that and make something pretty for on Friday. And then next week I'm actually on vacation for most of the week because I'm going with my daughter to Girl Scout camp. I'm a Girl Scout troop co-leader and volunteer, and she's got camp next week, so I'm going to be off for the end of the week doing that, but we'll try and get a special video in on Monday or Tuesday for you guys. So again, thanks to everyone who tuned in on Friday and caught our little earring looper special. You guys sold us out of the medium-sized looper, so awesome. Good job. Yeah, so the looper tools, you guys sold us out on the medium ones. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who tuned in and shared that video too. That was actually my most shared video so far, so that's super exciting. So today what I wanted to do is just kind of keep it simple, and we're gonna dig through a bag of beads. I mentioned on Friday's video that I love our mixtures. Some of my favorite mixtures are India mixtures. I also volunteer at my daughter's school, and I teach a beading class there. And the India mixtures are quite economical, and you get some really cool, fun stuff to work with. So you never know what you're going to get in these mixes, and so I thought it'd be fun to go through one of my favorite mixtures, and we'll take a look at. Oh, Catherine, we're working real hard on getting all your orders out. We obviously finished the big sale on Monday, and so our shipping department's working extra hard to get all the orders from that sale sent out. So hopefully, if it's not in the mail today, it will be out shortly. We're working real hard to get that to you. So anyways, again, I teach a kids class. It's like 1 day a week. It's like 6-week sessions, and we'll do different activities. We use the looper tool to make earrings, but we also make some simple necklaces, and I like to use the VE525 mixes because there's such great colors and great combinations that you can come up with using some of the beads. And so here's one example of one of the necklaces that I made sort of as an example in that kids beading class that I was talking about. So again, it's just real simple, sort of illusion style necklace. I just have them flat crimp instead of using the crimper tools because most of the kids are 10 and under. So, but look at how pretty that bead is. I mean, you don't see beads like that. They have a very sort of rustic kind of handmade quality. You get some really funky, really fun pieces. Here's another piece I made recently with that. Again, that same, this is the VE525, I believe it's the dash O piece, so it's the opaque mix. And you can see some of the cool beads. They've got some really cool facets, but this is just strung onto some cotton cording and then attached to chain. So it's super easy. Yeah, Simone, they're just really inexpensive, but they're really cool, which is my favorite part about it. And especially if you make, let me see if I have. Here's another just random charm bracelet that I have. This is one that I made, but I've got a lot of those beads from the mixtures in here as well that are just not things that we sell, but they're just really pretty. So you can find some real cool pieces. All right, so let's go ahead and start digging through. Oh, I wanted to show you a couple more pieces. So I've got this one here that I just sort of made as a layering piece. These are some acrylic beads. These are actually the mix that we'll be looking at today. I just really like the simple layering pieces. Here is a piece that came out of our horn mixture. Hi, Carlene. Thanks for tuning in. And so this is a 2-hole piece that I just turned into a pendant. All right, so let's go ahead and turn you down, and we're going to take a look at this bag of beads that I pulled, and then we will make some pendants out of a couple pieces. Alrighty. Let's get you nice and centered here. All right, we got a good view of the screen. All right, so here is the bead. This is a 500-gram bag, BE525-R2. So this is the all mixed up resin mat. So these are resin, like acrylic beads. Oh, awesome, Catherine. That's so great. All right, so let's just dump that out onto the bead mat here, and we'll take a look at some of the cool pieces that we have in this mixture. So one thing that catches my eye right off bat is this big piece. The hole goes from one end to another. So I don't know how you would maybe do, this is like a necklace focal, like in the centerpiece, maybe do some beading off the side and have it be a real chunky sort of focal in the center. Oh, that's real cool. So here's that's a really big piece too. This is just a leaf with a hole at the top. You could always jump ring it, or you could do something else, or you could layer a pendant or something over that. Here's a real cool piece. It's got some texture sort of carved into it. So here's a fun little 2-hole one that would actually look kind of cool as maybe a bracelet, big chunky bracelet. This one, these are resin. They're actually kind of a plastic. Yeah, so they're resin. But again, it's $6.90 for 500 grams. So this whole bag is less than $7. Here's another cool little piece. It's like just sort of a ring that would be a really cool like bracelet link, or perhaps like as a pendant, maybe hang some charms or a tassel from that. This piece is real cool. This piece caught my eye initially. But you know, one thing to keep in mind with these mixtures is just because I found these cool beads in this bag doesn't mean that that's what you're going to get in what you order. You will find some really great pieces though, guaranteed. So this is kind of just a cool flat. So some of these, as you can see, are a lot bigger. That would work for maybe some chunky pendants. And some are smaller that you could use for bracelets. Like look at some of these here. I mean, these are even small enough you could do earrings. And because they are made of resin, they're super lightweight too. So here's another kind of 2-hole. This is more of like a toggle piece, but that could be a fun pendant. All right, so that's a fun. actually have, because like I said, I've got a lot of these mixtures at home because I use them with the kids. So here's this square piece, and I had the same mixture at home, and then I came up with this necklace that I'm not quite a fan of because it doesn't quite lay right. So it's just kind of been sitting on my computer waiting to see if I can be re-inspired to do something else with this pendant piece. So that's sort of a long piece, but I've got some crystal and a tassel and a spike. But as you can see, that's that same bead there. So it's really easy to throw together some pendants, but we're going to make some even simpler pendants than that. Here's another 2-hole piece. Yeah, and see, here's a similar one, but just 1 hole. So there's lots of combinations and really cool pieces in here, but we're going to just pull out a couple of them to take a look at. Throw the rest of these back in the bag. Well, that's kind of a cool little pyramid shape. Kind of fun. Alright, so I've got a couple of different pieces here. I also have, I pulled to use the Wubbers bail making pliers. So we've got the Wubbers in 3 different sizes, or actually 6 different sizes, because each pair of pliers comes with 2 different size barrels on the tool. So this is the FI 4301-RD2. This has a 7 and 9 millimeter mandrel. We have one that has the small size is this guy here, and that's got a 3 and 5 millimeter. And then we've got the super mega large one, and you can see there that's got a 12 millimeter and 15 millimeter. And these are great for making loops on bails and pendants and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start out, I think, with this guy and make a pendant piece out of that. But I think I want to maybe stack some of the smaller beads on top or something like that. So we'll, okay. I also grabbed just a couple of little random spacers just so that we'd have something. So I think for this one I'm going to go with a silver. My favorite for wire wrapping for pendants is the 20 gauge. And this is the 20 gauge bright silver. It's non-tarnish. Ideally you would not want to waste your wire, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut off a chunk here. So I think what we're going to start by doing, we're going to start by starting off a loop. We want one that's going to be kind of large to be able to go through, and so that this pendant can kind of hang. So, and you could even layer like a piece over the top. Actually, maybe, let's see what I got here in my little box of fun stuff. I think I'm going to change my mind here and go with the brass or the gold tone, because I want to layer this butterfly. Oh no! I hate it when that happens. I should have secured the end of my wire. Alright, so bring that through there. Alright, so we're going to use the smaller half to start our bail. And then I think I'm going to hang this. Let's see, what side do I want showing? Right on this side. All right, so now I've got that kind of layered in front of here. Taking a note from the Candy Cooper book of more is more. So we'll add a little charm there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grip with my chain nose pliers and hold that loop in place. And I'm just going to messily wrap it. I think when you're working sort of with the more handmade look, it's good. I like the look of the the messy wrap as opposed to a very clean, neat wrap. But again, that's all personal preference. Oh, this is not wanting to for me. Come on, there we go. That tip did not want to go in. Could camera angle be adjusted to see exactly how the tool works? Sure, yeah, I'll show you again after I get this other piece on here. So I'm just going to add some beads here. We'll do okay, so basically the tool is, it's got round barrels, and you're going to just wrap around. So we're going to we use the smaller bail on the other side, and we're going to use the bigger bail on this side. And you're just going to use it to sort of bring the wire around. So you're going to use that to make a nice big consistent loop. So that's what they are. So see, now I've got this nice big perfect loop. And that's how you use them. And then the different sizes obviously have different size barrels so that you can get different size loops. They're also really good for making bails out of components. So again, now I'm gripping my loop here and I'm just making a messy wrap. So my loop got a little misshapen, so I'm going to try and stick this back onto. And you know, sometimes that just happens, but I want my loop to be round. And this is not wanting to be round. There we go. So now all I'm doing is just kind of opening my pliers while twisting them, and that's going to give me more of a round shape that I want. Not round enough to go over the mandrel. Oh, come on. Oh well. So that's not going to work. So now we've got a really cute little pendant piece here. A little hanging butterfly over our leaf. Just like that. Now one design I wanted to try, I sort of had in my head. We'll use the silver wire for this because alright, so we're going to start, we're going to grip in the center of the wire and we're going to make a loop, okay, and then we're going to cross the wires. I'm going to do that twice. Okay, so I've got my loop like that. Because this is a 2-hole piece and I want there to be a loop on the bottom of that. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball here and bend the ends of my wire so they're about the length of the distance of the hole. Okay, so I've got a loop like that. And now I really like how this pendant looks with the dual loops, so I'm going to try and do something similar with this one. And I want to make make sure that my wire is even on both sides. So we're going to go ahead and give that a cut. And then, so I find it's kind of easier with doing the 2-hole is to just kind of bend one over just so it's out of the way, so you're able to work with the one that you want. So we're going to go ahead and grab that wire, the loop, and then wrap. Usually once I get the first couple wraps in, then I'll switch to holding with my chain nose, because the tip is just a little less bulky. So, sorry, I gotta remember to keep my pliers down where you can see them. Alright, so how's everyone else's Wednesdays going? You got anything going on this week? Exciting? Anything exciting? I know I'm just getting ready for Girl Scout camp. Because I'm a volunteer, I'm in charge of our swaps. So swaps are something that Girl Scouts do. They're special whatchamacallits affectionately pinned somewhere. And I'm in charge of getting together and organizing all of the swaps for our camp, which is, there's 150 girls that go to our camp, so. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and make our second loop. Oh, again, sorry. Now, you don't want to mangle the wire too much. It is pretty forgiving, so if you do end up bending something just a little bit out, you can usually bend it back without too much trouble. I'm sorry. Look. Sometimes getting that last little, like, 1/4 inch to wrap around is so difficult because there's just nothing to really grip onto. And I totally mangled this loop, so it's not even round anymore. That's alright. Nothing we can't fix. Alright, so here is another pendant here. And so for a piece like this, you could use to hang some chain from. Actually, that's what I kind of had planned to do, and I just forgotten. Do like a little chain tassel maybe hanging from that. So like, could be really cute. Alrighty, now I've got this piece. This is a really cool piece. It's got sort of like a wood grain look. And then it's got like this red. I'm trying to read your guys' comments. Yeah, your kids start school already, Brandy? When do your kids start? That seems crazy. It's way too early for school to start. Alright, so now I'm just trying to fix my spool of wire here. It's not so crazy. Alrighty, so for this one, I think we're just going to do something simple. So I'm going to start by stringing my bead on, and then I'm going to fold it up. And these holes are big enough that they're going to be able to go through your bead twice. This is a 20 gauge wire again. So now I'm just going to pull that wire tight. Okay, so I've got one coming out each side, and now I'm going to fold it back over. So I've got on either side there. Then I'm going to take that wire and put it around this one that's sticking straight up out of the top of the bead. Trim that end. And then we're going to use the bail making plier to make a loop. So these are really great if you're wanting to make loops that are bigger than what your round nose pliers are. So as you can see with the round nose pliers, they don't get very big around. I think that's probably about 6 millimeters. So your kids already start school tomorrow? That's crazy. My kid doesn't start till the first week of September. We start the Wednesday after Labor Day is usually when we start. Okay, anyway, sorry to get distracted. That's just crazy to me. Of course, you guys probably get out of school in like May then, right? If you're already starting in August, I would imagine that you get out pretty early too, huh? So I did sort of scope the bag ahead of time, and I planned to do this piece here because I really like it, and I've got some other beads, again, mixtures. This being from our vintage seed bead mix. And I believe this exact mixture is sold out, but we have so many different mixtures in stock that you should be able to find one that's very similar. So what I went ahead and did is just strung some seed beads onto silk cording. And it's just kind of a very fun mix. I don't plan on switching out the pendant or anything like that, but if you wanted to make it something that you could switch it out, you could string it on beading wire and add a clasp and then make it easy to switch the pendant out if you decide you want something else later. But for now, I just want a nice, easy layering piece. So the silk comes on cards like this. You just open it up and unravel it. It already has a needle on it. It's got a little twisted wire needle. I didn't think you'd want to watch me string seed beads for a half hour, so I went ahead and did that ahead of time. I also have a little bead stopper here on the end of my string so that my beads wouldn't go flying. So I'm going to go ahead and trim. Ooh, my scissors are getting dull. Trim that, and I'm just going to add just a regular knot to the end. It's going to be a real simple over the head type necklace. Good layering piece. I like the chunky pendant. And these knots hold pretty well. So then what I want my silk to fray. So we're just going to kind of untwist it a little bit. And so it gives kind of a tassel look at the back. So now, as you can see, real quick and easy over the head style necklace with a wire wrapped pendant. You can do some other cool things instead of just going straight up and down. You could use your wire or your tools to add maybe a little swirl in there with the wire. One fun trick is you can take your pliers and grab in the wire and just kind of put in a little angle there, so you can do something like that to your pendant piece. Just add a little more interest and character. And we've made this piece here that's got sort of your layered. But again, there's so much in these mixtures. See, what I was thinking, this piece would be cool as like a necklace like that. How cool would that be? Just something chunky. Actually, that could be kind of cool, like that, just like that. Ooh, I might have to play around with this after this video is over, because I kind of like how that's kind of funky. What do you think? Anyways, so that's just one example of one of the mini mixtures that we carry. Again, this is a real fun mix. One thing that I've used this mix for also is it makes really good handles on bubble wands. So you can take that aluminum wire that we used when we made the hanging planter, You take that same aluminum wire and the really thick gauge. Kids can actually make them themselves. The wire's so easy to bend. But then you just use some of these big beads that maybe are not so cute, like maybe that one. I don't know. Just let the kids pick, and then they can make a really cool little bubble wand, and it's just a fun little project. Go outside and play. Hopefully you enjoyed what we made today. We'll maybe make one of these and stick it on the blog to share also, and then we will see you Friday at 4 o'clock for a very special video with some awesome new sparkly Swarovski stuff. So I'm really excited about that. So we'll see you Friday. Have a good day. Bye-bye.